Chelsea could survey their work on Boxing Day with some satisfaction at the final whistle. A stubborn Brighton and Hove Albion side were eventually ground down, the visitors beaten into submission after the interval, with the home side's lead never really threatened once established, to ensure the gap to Manchester United in second has been closed to a point. The summit may still be remote, but Antonio Conte's side at least boast some much-needed momentum. The head coach could point to his team's toils up to the break as further evidence, if any more was required, that reinforcements will be required next month to add some attacking thrust. This team used to be able to rely on a Diego Costa to batter or bully opponents when creative forces were slightly off their game. With this was too blunt for comfort until Álvaro Morata scored a 10th Premier League goal of his first season at the club when the second half was still in its infancy. Their quality told thereafter, and Chris Hughton, too, could argue Brighton's board should push the boat out to secure an instinctive finisher of the caliber of Celtic's Moussa Dembele to give them an edge in contests this tight. The closest Hughton's side came to registering was a thumping header from Shane Duffy late on, which looped wide of the far post with Thibaut Courtois static. They had come seeking to contain, and while the visitors' resilience would be eroded in the end, their game plan had been exemplary throughout the first period. Hughton had this side drilled to perfection defensively, Dale Stephens consistently willing to drop back from midfield to supplement the backline, and both Duffy and Lewis Dunk a formidable central partnership. The absence of Anthony Knockaert and Pascal Gross from the starting lineup had been an indication of a desire to frustrate and stifle, but as the rain poured down, Chelsea ran aground consistently on Albion's barrier. When Cesc Fabregas did find time to loft a pass beyond the back line, Matt Ryan reacted smartly to turn aside Victor Moses' volley. Otherwise, Chelsea's only real glimpse of goal up to the interval came as Brighton struggled to clear a corner, Eden Hazard's subtle touch sending Fabregas to the byline to cross, with Antonio Rudiger nodding back and Shima Bakayoko prodding wide of the near post. The sight of opponents massing deep inside their own territory seemed to sap the pace and, too often, accuracy from the home side's passing. Certainly there was no fluency to their game, and as the anxiety set in, Tom Raheem should have done better at the other end, only to mistime his leap to reach Marcus Suttner's center, allowing Rudiger to suffocate the attempt in mid-air. Perhaps Conte, so agitated in his technical area through that goalless period, spent the interval reminding his players of the need to inject some urgency to their play. Rather than easing back into a drab rhythm, they had unsettled the visitors from the resumption, and 40 seconds after the restart, finally found a breakthrough. The goal was familiar in its construction, Cesar Azpilicueta whipping over a cross which veered beyond Dunk and Brighton's back line and was met emphatically by Morata, alone between centre halves, who headed in via Ryan's left hand.